When Swami in the old days, he used to come and stay with us from Prashanti Nilayam in the 50s, even when I was not born, he used to come and stay with my aunts or my parents, and they were all middle class people who didn't own mansions, big homes. Swami used to come and stay in the small room that they were able to give him, use the small bathroom that they had, and he stayed very happily with them. But down the road, there was another devotee who came along, very well-to-do people, very, very devoted, husband and wife. They used to send the car to Swami to Puttaparthi, and Swami didn't even have a car in those days. He would come in their car and stay with them in Bangalore. Very devoted people, looked after Swami like the king, you know, provided everything for him, looked after him with so much love. And we all used to go there to sing bhajans when Swami was there, when Swami used to give darshan for the small crowd that used to be there. And so the years went by, and then Swami had Brindavan, the old bungalow. Swami bought the building. Swami had his own place. So he did not have to come and stay in any devotees' homes. After that, he used to stay in Brindavan, and all of us used to go there. As the years went by, the lady's husband passed away. She had 2 sons, and for whatever reason, the way things worked out, the sons were in different places. They were not in Bangalore anymore. They sent the mother to the servant quarters that was built in that huge mansion that she used to entertain Swami in, to the back of the house where there was a servant quarters. The mother, who was widowed, was put there. This huge mansion was boarded up, and the sons did not bother to take care of the mother much. So this mother lived in the back. There must have been some small amount of money that took care of her. She had a stroke, and she stayed there with one lady who looked after her in the servant quarters, which was one room, a small kitchen and a veranda kind of a place. This wealthy lady who fed hundreds of people who came to see Swami at all times of the day, herself now had to eat 2 meals a day, and she was relegated into this really sad. Once in a while, all of us, Sai devotees, I remember, they would take her to have darshan of Swami. She had had a stroke, she was in a wheelchair. They would take. And then as the years went by, she was not able to travel even to Brindavan from her home. So once in a while, somebody would bring her, she would have Swami's darshan. Wherever she sat in Brindavan, Swami would always go to her and talk to her and bless her. When he materialized Vibhuti, she could not even take it because she had had a stroke. Swami will tell her, open your mouth and pour all the Vibhuti into her mouth. So that is how it was. One particular Saturday, Swami was going to come to our house for dinner, to my parents' house. And not a Saturday, it was a Thursday. And I had the good fortune of traveling with Swami up and down in the car when I was a child, till I was about 13 or so. Wherever Swami went, he would take me along with him in the car. So my father and we went to Brindavan to pick up Swami to bring him to our house. He used to come in my father's car, which was a Fiat he had. And Swami got into the car after the evening darshan, and we started to drive towards Jainagar in Bangalore. Suddenly, Swami said, Padmanabh, let us go to this particular extension where this lady lives. I want to see her. She has not come to see me for almost a year, Swami said. So my father said, okay. And we drove to this wealthy lady's house, who was now in the servant quarters that I was in. I don't want to mention names, because it was a difficult life for her after her husband passed away. So we came there, and brothers and sisters, I remember as a young child, this house lit up with lights when Swami used to come. Beautifully decorated, like we all decorate if Swami's physical form was coming. Such a beautiful home, looking so dilapidated in a way. The windows all boarded, no lights, the big curving driveway covered with all leaves from the trees in the garden. And I remember my father driving into that driveway, and you couldn't drive, and Swami got out. It had rained the previous day. The leaves were all wet in that circular driveway. And my father is saying, Swami, the leaves are very wet. I'll see how far I can take the car. Swami said, no, I'm getting out here. And he seemed to be in a big hurry. He got out of the car, lifted his robe, and he walked on that circular driveway, and we said, where is he going? The house is boarded up. But Swami knew that she was in the back. So he walked to the back of the house, to the small little servant quarters with one small light hanging in the veranda. And believe it or not, we went and knocked on the door. This lady who used to look after this woman opened the door. She's totally shocked to see Swami standing there the day after the rain with leaves all over in that area. And she ran inside to tell her, Amma, Sai Baba has come, Sai Baba has come. Swami didn't even wait for an invitation. He walked into the house and walked into the bedroom. And there on a single cot, this lady was sitting. In front of her was a picture on a desk, Swami's picture. They were trying to light the lamps to do bhajan. This old lady and this other assistant who used to help her, she is not a Sai devotee, but she has come many times to Vrindavan with this lady. They don't know bhajan. This lady used to sing long songs for Swami, I remember, in Kannada. You know, she's from Bangalore, Karnataka, so she used to sing. Whenever we used to come when we were children to her house, and Swami used to tell her sing, she will start one long song. In those days, bhajans were not there. You know, as children, we used to get fed up. I hope Swami doesn't ask her to sing. Because I will give you a small example. I'm not a very good singer, and you'll understand. She's beautiful song. Now that I'm older and more mature, I hope, I understand with what love. Ninna nambi bande yenna kai bidadiru ghana mahimane sainatha. That is the first line. It was composed by Sri Kasturi's wife. But this lady used to sing it. So, Ninna nambi bande yenna kai bidadiru ghana mahimane saiman. I have come with faith to you, O Lord Sai. Don't let go of my hand. Hold my hand always. You are a Ghana Mahima. You can do all sorts of Leelas and Mahimas. The simple act of my hand, don't ever let it go. That is it. So this is the first. So very nice. Everybody will follow. Ghana Mahimane Sainata. Ninna nambi bande yenna kai bidadiru ghana mahimane sainata. Andu neene, indu neene, endendigu neene sainata. Andu neene. In my past lives also you have been with me. Indu neene. With me you are in this life also. In future lives also. Don't let my hand go. That is not the first stanza. Then she'll say, Janani janaka nine sainata yenna anubandhiyu nine sai. You are my mother and father. You are my every relative. All these relatives will not be there with me when I need. She used to sing it when she had everybody. Who knew her future? Nobody will be there with me. Don't let go of my... That is the second stanza. Desha deshava tirgi sainata balu klesha patiru venu sainata asha pashava bidsu sainata ninna dasara sanga kodu sainata. It's a beautiful stanza. It says desha deshava tirgi bandiru, when I have gone from guru to guru, country to country, miracles to miracles, I have gone all over this world looking and looking and looking. Desha desha vatirigi sainata balu klesha pattiruvenu sainata. I have struggled to find the truth. I have looked at gurus, I have looked at ashrams, I have looked at countries, I have looked at religions, and finally, oh Lord, I have found you. Balu klesha pattiruvenu. With lot of difficulty I have found it. Asha pashava bidisu. Take away this desire to go on searching. Take away this desire to go on searching for you, because I have found you. Asha pashava bidisu sainata. Ninna dasara sangha. Give me the company of the truth of your feet and the company of the devotees who love you. Give me that. This was the song. There are 8 more stanzas. Please don't be afraid, I won't sing it. She would sing. So we entered her house. Swami enters the bedroom, and this lady is sitting there singing Desha Desha Vatirgi Sai, because it's a Thursday bhajan. They are about to light the lamp. She's getting ready. Not yet started. She walked into the room and she said, Oh, you Deva. She used to call him Deva. You have arrived in my house. And tears started to flow in her eyes. I don't have anything to offer you. There was the days when she used to put 25 sweets in front of him which he did not eat. I don't even have a plate of fruits to offer you, Swami. Why did you come to my house today? Do you want to make me feel bad? Why did you come? I was happy in my bubble, sitting here just thinking of you. That was enough for me. Why did you come? Swami said, what do you mean, why did you come? I missed you. You didn't come for 1 year to Vrindavan. So I came to see you. But I have nothing. He said, why can't I sit on the bed next to you? I have no chairs to offer you, Swami. I can sit. Come, Geetama, that's me. Come, Geetama. Come, Padmanabh, my father. Come inside, come inside. And Swami takes the sheet from her bed and puts it on the floor. They will sit on the floor. It's bhajan, is it not? Why do you need a chair? This is our Swami. We think he wants so many things from us. He wants nothing from us. We said, and I want to tell you the most beautiful aspect of Swami's love. Such a Swami we will never find in any place except where we have seen. So, that lady is trying to light the lamp. That old woman says, light the lamp, light the lamp. Swami bandidare in Kannada. Deepa hatsu, Deepa hatsu. There are a few Kannadigas here. Light the lamps, light the lamps. That lady is looking at this old woman. Swami, in a very conversational way, comes to his own picture. There are 2 lamps. He looks at the dish there. There is no oil to light the lamp. There is no oil. And that poor maid, that assistant, she doesn't know how to say it in front of Swami. There is no oil. So she's looking at her. This is an elderly lady who can't hear very well. So loudly she has to say, I don't have oil to light the lamp. She's standing there. Swami, with his back to this old lady, see, we should not embarrass the people we are helping. With his back to the old lady, put his finger like this to that, on his lips, to tell that lady, be quiet. And he looked at me, and in Telugu, he said, bring me a glass of water. There is no kitchen also. It's a small kitchenette. So, I just brought him a small glass of water. And Swami just took a sip of it as though pretending to drink. And when he returned the glass he was holding, he put his finger in that glass and said, pour it in the lamp to me. This is water that Swami just drank. And he is asking me to pour in the lamp. No talking with Swami, just with his eyes. Like this, he said. So I went there, I tried to pour it. That water has turned into oil. I poured it into the lamp. And Swami very nicely says, I will light the lamp, I will light the lamp. Lit the lamp, came and sat on the bed and said, sing. Don't start home and all that. I have to go to Padmanabh's house for dinner. Sing one song. I'm like, oh, I know what song she's going to sing. Ninna nambi bande, yenna kai bidadiru, ghana mahimane sainata. Pannaga shayana, panna rakshaka prasanna, nagu bega sainata. Pannaga shayana, panna rakshaka. You are that great Lord who is somewhere in that energy, but you have come down here, panna rakshaka, to look after people like me who has nobody. Janani janaka nine sainata, you are my mother and father. Yanna anubandhiyu nine. Sainata, you are my relative. Anubandhiyu nine Sainata. Janma janmadali Sainata. Yanna uddharisuva nine Sainata. Janma janmadali. In janmas and janmas you have looked after me. In this life also, take me closer and closer to you. She sang the song. Very sweetly, Swami said, so nicely you sing at this age. I must learn some tricks from you. Makes her laugh. I said, I have to go now. I have told Kamlamma, that is my mother, I am coming for dinner. Just on the way, I missed you. Because you have not come for 1 month, I just came. Swami, why did you come? He said, why? You have looked after me for so many years. Is it not my duty to come and see you? Is it not my duty to come and see you? You're calling out with so much love. I can hear in Vrindavan, you know. You have become deaf, you have become old. But I am not deaf. I can hear you. I can hear you. The power of that name, when it is sung with that love and intensity, it is not us traveling to Prashanti Nilayam. We can bring him from Prashanti Nilayam to Buckhorn Retreat. We can bring him with the power of those words. We don't have to do much. We just have to love him. We just have to love him. So that was one of the incidents that I saw in my life, and I said, my goodness, I have to learn to sing like this woman with that intensity and love and devotion for Swami. And that discipline, her arm did not work, her leg did not work, she had a stroke, but come Thursday, 6:30 p.m., she was ready sitting on her bed to do her bhajan on time. And Swami arrived on time for her bhajan. So some of these things are necessary to keep us focused on it. The discipline is necessary to keep us focused. Otherwise it will become a game. It is not serious anymore. That is why Swami has given these tools. Sit in a certain way. Don't swing like a pendulum. Because he told once, one of the ladies in the interview room with me, she was a very good singer actually. So she said, Swami, I have composed 2 new bhajans. So Swami said, when you stop swinging like a pendulum, I will listen, because when you are swinging my brain, I am getting a headache. You are swinging so much, I am getting a headache. So there is a certain way to do everything, that is all. There is a certain way to do everything.